Hey everyone, Technique Tuesday. Quick tip for you today on the overhead squat. So first things first, why is the overhead squat tough for people? Well, essentially, when we put our arms overhead and we don't have a lot of mobility in the thoracic spine and the upper body, what happens is we borrow that from our lower body. So we put our back into a big extension. I'll try exaggerating it here. We put our back into a big extension just to be able to hold the weight. But unfortunately, when we squat, basically our hips say, hey, we want that extension back, and you're forced around, or some other compensatory patterns happen. Okay? So what we've noticed is that people initially, when they're doing the overhead squat, if they think sitting straight down, what happens is their knees track very far forward and they come onto their toes. Now if they're lucky, they'll stand back up. It's very, very difficult, or the bar will tilt forward. So if you're one of those people who ordinarily, when you squat, instantly you come onto your toes and that weight starts shifting forward, what we're going to recommend to you is that the first thing you do is push your butt back slightly and then sit. Okay? Now we're not looking for a massive push back. All we're looking for is that if we shift our ass back, our weight's going to be much more evenly distributed, and then we sit down by pushing our knees out. That little tip will help you stay flat, more flat-footed, and allow you to squat a little bit deeper. We're not saying there might be other stuff to do, you might have to do more mobility, but that's one little tip, that if you think straight down in an overhead squat and you're tight, your knees are going to shift forward. If you just sit a little bit back, you're going to be much better off. We would also recommend for strength training, you're working your overhead squat for your snatch, always pause at the bottom of the overhead squat. Unlike the front squat and the back squat where you'll most likely dance, always pause. If you're in a Metcon, sit down, stand up. Guys, any questions, just ask.